Welcome to Fresh Talk News Channel. Today, we dive into the latest news update. Protesters gathered in front of the United States Consulate in Montreal to mark International Women's Day and demonstrate against what they called the American government's attacks on women's rights and Canada's sovereignty. This was one of a dozen demonstrations planned across Quebec today, with protesters also set to rally in front of the U.S. consulates in Quebec City and the U.S. Embassy in Ottawa. Organizer Laura Weredel condemned what she described as the Trump administration's rollback of reproductive rights and its abandonment of allies worldwide. Weredel urged Canadians to resist the rise of far-right authoritarianism in the U.S. and called for a boycott of American products. In Montreal, many protesters, dressed in red, chanted, "Shame on you." They later formed a human chain and observed 8 minutes of silence. Similar protests were planned in other Quebec cities, including Sherbrooke, Joliette, Victoriaville, and Saguenay. Some Montrealers also rallied to address local issues affecting women in the city. Marcelo Siciliano, a demonstrator and former Amazon employee, shared his concerns. "We gather here to support women's rights in general, but also to show solidarity with vulnerable people in society who work under unfair conditions. Women are underrepresented in environments like Amazon because the work is physically demanding. Those who do join face a high risk of harassment, and Amazon fails to provide safe working conditions in their warehouses." The March 8 collective, representing nearly 800,000 women from unions and community organizations, highlighted pressing issues tied to the rise of right-wing ideologies both locally and globally. These include poverty among women, gender-based violence, and climate justice. Royce Henderson, spokesperson for Collectif 8 Mars, emphasized the urgency of the situation. Last year in Quebec, there were 25 gender-related homicides of women, also known as femicides. Additionally, 1 in 3 women in Quebec experiences violence in their lifetime. We need increased funding for women's shelters, universal access to services for survivors, and bold educational policies to address the root causes of gender-based violence. Henderson also pointed out the persistent gender pay gap in Quebec's workforce. Women still earn, on average, 91% of men's hourly wages. This gap widens for racialized, Indigenous, and disabled women. Siciliano added, "I hope the government steps in to address the exploitation and abuse by large corporations. As right-wing forces worldwide threaten the progress of women's liberation and the rights of marginalized groups, International Women's Day remains a crucial moment to defend these hard-won rights." Henderson concluded, "These forces are threatening the progress we've made in recent decades and slowing us down in achieving true equality. We must resist these right-wing tendencies." Thanks for watching Fresh Talk News Channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more news and updates. Stay informed, stay empowered.